Hey guys, I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Marcella.
And today we want to talk to you guys about 13 Reasons Why, the new Netflix show.
So, for the non-spoilery section, if you don't know what it's about, basically it's about this girl Hannah, and she commits suicide. So, it's about the 13 reasons why she does it, and basically there are these tapes, and on each tape there's a reason that corresponds with a person, and like their story and why it led her to make that decision.
Clay is our main, well, it's Clay and Hannah are the stories that we see it told from. Like we see Clay is the one who gets the tapes in the first episode, and he puts these on, and it's so difficult, and so many different emotions play out. And while it is a very depressing and morbid and really sad story, it's extremely important, and like we highly recommend that you go and watch it.
Oh, yeah.
It's so deeply powerful and extremely captivating. Like it's just one after the other. Like we watched it in like 2 sittings. We could not stop watching this and hearing what she had to say and listening to her story and watch these characters go through the emotions of the after, because we get the before, well, not really the before, but we get these scenes of like a flashbacks. That's how it's told. It's told in flashbacks, and it's also told in the present tense, so we get then and now. And just the way that it was done was just so suspenseful, where you want to know the next tape and you want to know what happened and how it gets worse. And it really just shows how the butterfly effect of how one little thing can really push somebody over the edge, because you don't know what that person is going through.
It gets you thinking also too, like what you say to people and how much you could impact somebody by just like little things. Like you don't realize just what people are going through. And I think that they tried to tell this as real as possible, and they definitely succeeded in that. We read the book first, and the characters, I like that in the show you get a lot more of the characters' stories, because it's dragged out. Like it's a show, you know, it's not just in one night everything happens in the book. So in the show you get to see more of the characters and more of like their emotions, and you get to know them better.
Yeah. And
I
love that you get to see the parents a lot too, which is so important, because death doesn't just happen to you, it happens to all the people around you.
You get to see how much it impacts the parents.
It impacts
a lot more.
Oh my god, like the parents just break your heart. And it's a very heavy show. Like, you know, a lot of times when you're watching it, your heart is heavy and you feel for Hannah and you wish that you could reach out and help her.
Now we're gonna get into more of what actually goes on in the show, so if you haven't watched it, you're not gonna want to listen further than that. So go watch it and then come back and we can discuss.
Yeah, definitely recommend go see it. Clay, heartbreaking throughout the whole thing. He's literally Logan Lerman, guys. He looks just like him.
He looks exactly.
He reminded me so much of Charlie from Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Clay was very relatable in the sense that he's very awkward. He doesn't have a lot of friends. He's very like, it's hard for him to say what he feels a lot of the times. And you know, he's that person who sees it happening. He sees a lot of it, and he's there, and he remembers these stories that she's telling him. Him, more than anybody, is one of the people that are witnessing all this happening, and it's very scary because, you know, you think like, I wonder if like I ever witnessed something and like I could have did something that like, you know, like little things. And you know, Clay, there was a lot of moments when he could have did something and he could have been there for Hannah, and he wasn't.
Yeah, I really love the way the lighting was very different too. Like Hannah's side, the lighting was like a yellowish tone to it. In the flashbacks.
When she was still alive. And
but when it was not, when it was the present tense with Clay and all these other characters dealing with her death and how it impacted them, it was a very grayish lighting, bluish almost. Like the lighting was very significant.
It went with like the tone of it, kind of.
Yes, it went with the tone a little bit. Like it was just, everything about this was just fantastically done.
My least favorite character was Bryce.
I couldn't stand Bryce.
We were like waiting, we're like, who's the one that does
we knew it as it going, we're like, that's the guy.
He was the worst one. You could just tell that he had no remorse. He was just a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah, I thought that was so startling, how there was no empathy with some of these characters as it was going on.
It would show Clay feeling bad, and like he would be looking at like all these people, and he's like, how can you be so okay right now?
And they're all trying to go after him in some way because they're afraid that he's gonna show everybody the tapes and it's gonna get out and then they're gonna get in trouble. It was just so devastating to see, though, because you want Hannah's parents to know what these kids are dealing with. Like, these kids are dealing with the death of their daughter, but they don't get the tape until much later on.
Yeah, throughout the show, you really root for the parents to find out because you really feel for them. Like, the mom is just trying all that she can to find out the truth.
I thought it was also really devastating how Tony, throughout the show, he's also dealing with having to live to what Hannah wanted him to do, and he feels that guilt, and it builds up as the episodes progress, and you really see that, and oh my god.
Yeah, in the beginning, he's very mysterious. Tony, you don't really know what his part in this is besides just giving the tapes out, and he definitely felt guilty towards the end because he didn't know if he was doing the right thing. And
Katie Walsh, like, oh god, if you guys don't know her, she's Addison on Grey's Anatomy and Private Practice.
Oh yeah.
She broke my heart. The scene at the very end, in that final episode, when you see Hannah slit her wrist and go sit in that bathtub,
was tough to watch.
And you see that mother come in, and she's like rummaging through like the bloody water trying to pick up her daughter.
And then the father comes in freaking out.
Oh my god, that part like broke my heart because these poor parents they had no idea. And
they really didn't. And it's so crazy because when you watch the show, she doesn't, like, when she's talking to her parents, there isn't much evidence of what she's going through. Like, there's like little things that they might have been able to catch on to, but not so much as what she, like, in school I felt like there was a lot more hints of like, okay, she's like going through something, and like, you know, especially with the counselor, that scene. What was the line that she said? She was like, if you're wondering what it looks like,
it looks like nothing.
Yeah, it looks like nothing. And that quote, oh my gosh, that quote.
Yeah, I just, that poor family, when she walks in from being at that party after being raped, the emptiness in her eyes, just, it was so beautifully acted. Like, the cast did such a fantastic, wonderful job of portraying these horrifying stories. I can't imagine, like, the actor who had to be Bryce and the two of them, how they went through that rape, and even with Jess and Justin, that must have been so difficult. And then the part when she's with Clay and they're like making out like on her bed, and he stops and says, "Is this okay?"
And it shows the two sides, like one guy who asked for consent and got it, and then Bryce, who just thinks that it's okay because the girls are unconscious, or oh, they were asking for it anyway.
There's nothing okay about that. Like, what he did, there's nothing okay about it. And Justin he actually went through a lot of character development in some ways. At the very end of the show, he realizes who Bryce is and what he's done to him, because Justin has to live with that too, that he let Bryce go in there and rape his girlfriend, and he's not okay with that. As the show goes on, you actually see him grapple with that.
You really see him break down throughout the whole show.
Him and Jess, ultimately, that's what torn them apart, because as a woman, you're rooting for her to leave this guy throughout the whole episode. You're like, the whole series, you're like, why is she with this asshole? What is she doing? And then at the very end, she finally does. And I think that's when she realizes what happened to her. And she's broken too. And then at the very end, it shows her finally telling her dad who seemed like a really good dad, and how he's always checking in on her.
That's another thing. That's another example of how, like, the parents, like, there was no sign of her going through any of that to the dad. One of the scenes that we definitely really thought was well done was with the counselor, and how it went back and forth between Clay talking to the counselor, and it was like going back and forth between that day with Hannah. And it's so unbelievable that Hannah went in there and pretty much said that she doesn't want to live, and the counselor let her go. That was like a cry for help. She said it too. She said that was her one, that she wants everything to stop. And he was like, what do you mean? She's like, I just want it all to stop.
But she said on the tape that she was giving it one more chance. and
he was the last reason.
And at the very end, you hear him listening to it,
which is the reason why he was trying so hard throughout the whole show to find out the truth, because in the end, he knew in the back of his head, he knew that he knew that he was in a way responsible also, along with all of these other people.
Kind of like owning up to what they've all done, because with the lawsuit on the school, who knows what's going to happen with him. I was really disappointed that we didn't get to see the lawsuit and what ended up happening with the parents, and what happened with Alex. Did he die? Was he was in critical condition, but did he die?
Yeah, that was, we thought the show was so fantastically done, but
there were so many loose ends. I want to know more.
It was disappointing, because you know, you're with these characters and you know so much more about them, because it's a TV show. It's not the book where it's like you read it and that's it. Like, you've been with these characters for 13 episodes.
13 hours. An hour each.
And we watched it in like 2 days.
Yeah.
So we like binge watched this, and we didn't get to see what happened with Alex, if he lived. I'm assuming he didn't, because that was the whole point, was that it caused somebody else who was close and who had.
You know what people are saying? People say that is that Tyler, the stalker, the photographer?
Yeah.
People say that he kills him, because it shows him taking down the picture of Alex, and then it shows him putting the gun in like underneath like his band. I don't know if that's just a theory going around, or if that actually happened.
Make sense though, because why would he take down his picture, and why would he have the guns in like the thing?
Well, other people were saying that he was going to shoot up the school. Like, we don't know what ended up happening.
That's what I initially thought, because why would he have so many guns?
Yeah. Oh my god, I wanted another scene with Clay and his mom too. I wanted more of that. I loved their relationship.
Because in the ending, all we got was like Clay, Tony, and then the girl Sky, who I was really happy that he, you know, made up with her, and they kind of like reconnected, because they used to be friends, and then they, you know, things happened, so they stopped being friends, and now they're friends again. But they all kind of just drove off, like, in the midst of all this. Like, Alex kills himself, they're driving off.
Where are they going? Do they know what's going on?
Yeah, like, did they know about Alex?
Did he tell his mom?
Are they running because they want to run from the lawsuit? Like, I don't really understand. I didn't really understand that. And we didn't get a scene with Clay and his mom, because throughout the whole show, Clay's mom knows that he's hiding something from her, and he tells her, like, I will tell you, just like it's not time right now. We didn't get to see like another scene with them, or Clay and Hannah's parents. I
want to see Clay with Hannah's parents too. Having them communicate about. Oh, I love when it got to Clay's tape though. How Hannah said, like, you don't deserve. You're not a reason, and how she kind of used these reasons to explain to him why she wasn't able to give herself to him at that scene at the party. It's
really sad with Hannah, because she was treated so terribly by guys that she got to that point where she felt like she was like a piece of meat for them. She felt that she wasn't worthy of a nice guy, and it's so sad that she didn't feel like she could actually be with Clay in the end, because there's that one that's like that part when she's imagining what it would be like to be with Clay.
Yeah.
That's so sad, because you know that deep down she doesn't feel like she's worthy of having that, because of the way that she was treated.
And you can't help but root that Hannah will find her way to go beyond this and see beyond high school and reach that point where it gets better, because it does. Like, high school can really suck, and it gets better, and you have to get yourself to that point.
Certain things that the school didn't really make sense.
That teacher, I thought, was really should have been a little bit more conscious of it too. That poem when the teacher she gets a note. She gets the note too,
and she kind of just reads it and just like dismisses it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to see the school make some changes to how they deal with things like that.
As soon as they got that note, she should have went to a counselor or something. Hannah did reach out a little, like she did reach out. She really did, and the school kind of dismissed it.
There's a lot of instances like that. Yeah. And I think that in season 2 they could definitely show more about how they have a better like way to deal with things like that. I don't know.
Another thing that we needed closure with was Bryce. Like, this asshole the whole time we're like, this guy needs to be put away, this guy needs to be behind bars, and we have no idea.
We rooted for him to, like, when Clay made that 14th tape with the confession, like, that was so rewarding. It's like, yes, he's gonna go away, like, this asshole's gonna be locked up, but we didn't get to see that. We have no idea what happened with him. Obviously, the parents are gonna find out because they have to finish the tapes, but I would have liked to see that. And I don't know if they're gonna make a second season and we're gonna see that. Does anybody know if we're gonna get a season 2?
Let us know if there's a season 2, because I want a season 2.
There could be. I don't know.
You know who I really liked in the show? I really liked Jeff, and I didn't catch that during the flashbacks was the only time that we were seeing him. I didn't catch that at all. So during that party scene, oh my god.
The whole thing with the stop sign and how it was Sherry's fault, but Jeff lost his life, and
so Hannah was also dealing with that guilt too, because she could have said something. She could have said something to stop it.
Overall, we thought that it was very well done. While it is sad, I think that it's still enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, it's such a great show. It's so important and impactful. I know a lot of you guys are recommending us to watch it, and we really want to talk to you guys about it and see what your theories are for what happened after. Who is your favorite character? Where do you think the characters are going? Are we gonna see more of Clay? Do we have a season 2? Do you want a season 2? Let us talk about that down in the comments.
Down below.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye.